I'm here today at Laverstoke Park with Jody Scheckter, biodynamic farmer, and Henry Harris, chef of Racine. What we're going to try and do today is a bit of farm to fork. We're hoping to shoot some pheasants, take them into the kitchen back there and cook them. Jody Scheckter runs Laverstoke Farm, the largest biodynamic operation in the UK. The farm doesn't operate commercial shoots, and so they don't breed hundreds of birds for that purpose, and only run 2 or 3 small shoots per year.
We've got some loaders for you that will be looking after you today. Safety is the key issue here. If your loaders take your guns from you, it's only because they're just unsure, so it's just all about safety. We look at 24 beaters, 4 pickers up, 1 game cart driver and 1 lorry driver. So you're looking at a total of about 30 people to organise to run the shoot, plus the guns. And then you need 8 loaders as well to load and look after the guns.
It was amazing to have something on this scale laid on just for Henry and I.
If you can remember, if you shut the wood to the steel, that way it's safe, it blows in the ground. If you do it the other way, it's dangerous, it goes up in the air.
Now bear in mind, I haven't shot anything for about 10 years, so it took a little while to get the hang of it. Yeah.
Not below the tree.
Okay.
Not below the tree. First shot. Really good.
Thank you. That was pretty exciting. I actually managed to hit a few. Didn't feel like it. It felt like they were evading me each time, but I got a few there. I think we've got a couple of partridge there, which look absolutely gorgeous and extremely delicious.
Normally we invite people that haven't shot before because so most of the birds get away.
Certainly plenty got away from me. Yeah, I'm not worrying the pheasant population that badly. How did you get into this in the first place? Are you from a farming family?
I've always been a foodie and I've always been a health fanatic. How do we produce the best tasting, healthiest food? We follow nature very strictly, and we have 2 main keys. Slow growing animals and plants are generally healthy and taste better. And biodiversity is a key to a healthy natural environment. It starts in the soil, in the grass, in the animals, and we follow that. Nature knows a lot more than science, so we follow nature and use science to try and understand nature better.
I always start on the back. I don't know if anybody else does, but I find it easier. Sort of the neck I start on.
Way down the stem of the feather, right against the skin.
Down to the meat. Then you don't get the tearing. We shouldn't do, but in a minute it'll probably tear.
Okay, you're pretty quick. I'm prepared to admit you're reasonably swift. Here we go. Basically, you're covering my bird with your feathers now. This is not on.
It's quite a meditative thing to do.
It is. You've just taken the head off. You take the wings off at the first joint. Is that right?
Yeah. Because there's nothing on there that's worth eating.
And here's the table. You've got your fingers in there, you just swept in round behind the guts.
Yeah. There we are. Badly shot, you see.
Yeah. Okay, we're here in Jody's kitchen now with the pheasants. Not the ones we actually shot earlier because they've been hung for a few days to improve the flavour. And what we're doing, Henry?
Pheasant with a pecan juniper sauce and some choucroute, just finished with a little bit of white wine and some lardo. Salted, lightly pickled fermented cabbage. You salt it and then you leave it to mature, rinse it off and wash it and then cook it with a little bit of white wine.
That is the same as sauerkraut, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the same principle, yeah.
I'm going to put in a really good milling of black pepper, 3 juniper berries.
What the flavour in a juniper berry is what?
It's very aromatic and winey. Gin. Lardo means cured back fat. It's got a lovely savoury quality to it. So I'm just going to put that on the stove and just leave that with the lid on a gentle heat. Here's a rather nice pheasant that's probably about 4 or 5 days old. You can see where it's been shot or badly plucked. Jointing it, which is very easy, you want a nice sharp knife, pop back and that thigh bone comes out, and then you just cut through.
So the leg meat is stronger flavoured and perhaps tougher in texture than the rest.
Yeah, it's much tougher and needs cooking for longer.
Right.
Now these ones have been properly done, where they've actually taken the sinews that go the tendons that go through the drumstick. So we could actually use those. It's not a dark-meated bird. They're eating all sorts of berries, bugs, etc. that give that flesh a bit of character. I'm going to put a frying pan on there, and I'm going to start the sauce. The sauce I've got in here, finely chopped shallots, and a bit of white wine vinegar. And I'm going to put that and a few of these juniper berries, no more than that. And I'm going to reduce that down. I'm looking for it to come to the boil, drive off all the liquid, so that I've basically got a dry pan with bubbles of liquid at the bottom. You get the actual sweetness that is in the vinegar that you never normally taste because of the acetic acid. If it's too wet, you'll taste it and it'll be too sharp. If it catches, the most important thing at that stage is to throw it away and start again. Because otherwise it just won't taste right. A little bit of butter and put that. Meanwhile, I'm going to season the pheasants. Then.
Oh, perfectly timed.
Look at that. Now I'm going to put the drumsticks in as well. They might not cook in time. We're just about to get to a dry pan with bubbles. I've just thrown in a glass of white wine, and I'm going to reduce that a little bit to cook the wine. I just want a nice golden colour to it. It's going to help give a bit of flavour to the sauce. It's going to render the fat out a little bit. That I've reduced by half. I've got some pheasant stock.
And that's reduced and defatted and...
Yeah, a little bit of seasoning. Come out. I'm going to put a little bit of water in there. That's steaming through. But you don't need to add any salt to this at all. And put these, shaking off the excess fat,
into the sauce.
I need to cover that and leave it for about 15 minutes, just so that the pheasant thighs and legs cook through, but also so they become tender. The juices that come out of the pheasant will go into the sauce and we'll just make a more complex sauce. So we just need to leave that for a moment. So I'm just going to take these pheasant breasts, I've seasoned them, and I'm going to lay them in the pan, which I haven't even turned on yet. And by putting butter in, it prevents you from cooking it too quickly. Because if you cook it too quickly, then you're going to burn the butter and you're going to ruin the dish.
It is poaching in that rather than frying, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
lovely.
I'm just going to baste it with the cooking fat. Turn that over. And I'm going to take these to about medium to medium rare. These are some of Jody's turnips, and I thought it'd be really rather nice just to add them into the pheasant while they're cooking, cut them really thinly, so they're going to be barely cooked. This sauce is reduced down. I'm just going to taste it to see how it is. And you can see it's already going nice and syrupy. And just finish it with cream. And I'm using whipping cream, not double. Chop this juniper a little bit. It needs that lovely gin-like hit. Have a taste.
Oh, yes, please. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I see what you mean about the ginny flavour to it.
What's been remarkable about today is here we are at Laverstoke, where there is just the most beautiful produce and the ability to take good things, whether it's turnips, whether it's buffaloes, whether it's pigs, and rear them gently and prepare them and take them through every stage up to when I can cook them and put them on a plate. So they will be at their best. Right, there we are, gents.
Henry's dish was elegant, succulent, and had none of the gamey flavours you might expect. The choucroute had a fantastic salty edge, and that worked really well with the velvet cream sauce and the fragrance of the juniper. That's superb. It's really, really lovely on the breast. But for me, the really important thing about this was getting the chance to take complete responsibility for the animal I was eating. While I know everybody won't get the chance to do this, it was an incredible privilege to be able to take food from field to fork.